lot of damage right there. Going to Viz again. See ya. What is up, everyone? Guys, listen up. In today's video, we are gonna go in depth with the new Sharen sniper build. This is a perfected version of the build that I uploaded previously on the channel. Back then, we uploaded the video with Afterglow, and it was a completely different kind of setup. But this one now is gonna be mainly with Piercing Light, fully upgraded. I'm gonna be showcasing everything. Piercing Light just has a higher base damage compared to Afterglow, and it works really well. And I'm also going to be breaking down two different versions of this build, and it's going to be up to you to pick which one you prefer. Both of them are extremely fun and very strong. For all the people that don't know, I stream both on YouTube and on Twitch. I help my viewers take out bosses. We also break down a lot of interesting builds, and above all, we have tons of fun on stream, so I would love to see every single one of you guys live. Okay, now let's get right into it. So we're going to start with the main version of this build, and that's going to be Piercing Light in combination with Sharen. First, we're going to break down the Descendant modules, and pretty much this is what it's gonna be. First, I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds in just in case you want to pause this, take a closer look. On my Sharen, I have used an activator, but even if you don't, you can get very close to this, and it's not that hard at all. Also, you don't need any catalyst for this setup, which is a huge plus. However, if you invest, let's say 1 or 2, obviously you're going to have a little bit more survivability and so on. So let's start with the Overcharged Edge. Modifies active camouflage to consume shields instead of MP. Ambush damage increases by the amount of shields consumed. And if you take a look at our invis, currently it is at 3.9 seconds, which is crazy. And you can get it back much faster than that, and we're going to discuss that here in a minute. So this is what makes it possible to deal that crazy damage every 4 seconds, and that is mostly what you're going to be utilizing with this build. You're going to go invis, deal huge amounts of damage, then take 1 or 2 shots without invis, which is still going to be over 1.6 1.7 million, then go invis, hit crazy numbers again, and so on. Next is increased HP. This is there for survivability. Once again, if you use a few catalysts, you can make it you can make Sharen even tankier. Shot focus on electric, and focus on tech. Both are here just for the cooldown reduction, right? Walk a tight rope. Now, this is going to be in the first version of the build. This gives us some crazy numbers. While we're below 50% HP, we deal 30% increased firearm attack. This is a more of a fully glass cannon approach. However, if that's not what you want to do, you could use multi-talented. What this does, guys, is that instead of your invis coming back in 3.9 seconds, you're gonna get it in like 1.5 to 2 seconds. On top of that, you're not gonna have to play below 50% HP. So if that's what you prefer, go for it. It is a phenomenal setup. However, if you want to get the craziest numbers, you are going to be using Walk a Tightrope. And once we break down the mods that are on the Piercing Light, this will all make sense. And next 2 mods are going to be MP Conversion and Nimble Fingers. So the combination of these 2 mods gives us some absolutely amazing cooldown reduction. That is what makes it possible to get our invis back in 3.9 seconds. The fact that with Overcharged Edge, guys, we can deal 200% increased damage is absolutely amazing. And once you combine this with the one and only strengthened first shot, that is exactly where those insane numbers pop up. Now, here's the overall build for the Piercing Light. You can pause this whenever you guys want, so you guys can take a better look. Mainly, it's just the main mods for damage, rifling reinforcement, better concentration, weak point sight, action and reaction, better insight, concentration priority, focus fire, and inside focus. Now, these 2 are very important because inside focus gives us more firearm critical hit rate. And when it comes to critical hit rate, Piercing Light is lower compared to Afterglow. So you want to have as much firearm critical hit rate as possible. And focus fire gives us 20% weak point damage increase and firearm critical hit damage increased by 3.5%. So both of these are very nice. However, the last thing that I added with this build is reload focus. And the reason for this, guys, since we are using strengthen first shot, the increase in reload time modifier really does come in handy. It speeds up everything. And I'm also going to showcase an animation cancel of the reload that you can perform with your invisibility. And once the reload speed is increased, and on top of that, you're canceling the animation, all of these things are going to speed up your DPS. On top of that, it has critical hit damage increase by another 3.5%. So this build is literally created for Sharen. Like, everything with this build works just perfectly once you understand the rotations, when to go invis, how to cancel the reload, all that stuff. You're gonna be good to go. Now, here's the difference between piercing light and afterglow mainly. Let's take a look at the firearm critical hit rate, 58.4%. And then if we take a look at afterglow, you will see that this one is much higher, guys. This one's gonna be at 73%. Definitely a big difference there, right? But as long as you are getting those crit damage numbers with piercing light, obviously the damage is gonna be higher. Let me turn off the face cam here, and now we're gonna talk about the components. Nothing special here, nothing crazy. We're just gonna be utilizing the Annihilation set. Anything that will add more survivability on the Annihilation set, that's what you're looking for. Defense, different resistances, HP, whatever you can find in combination with the 26% increased firearm damage is perfect, right? It gives you a little bit more survivability, and that's what we're looking for. As for the reactor, for this specific build, it really doesn't matter that much. But obviously, if you have a good reactor, go for it. Utilize it as much as you can. Now, here are the roles for the piercing light: firearm attack, firearm critical hit damage, and weak point damage. All of these rolled yellow numbers. However, firearm critical hit rate is purple, 10.4%. I will be re-rolling this just to make this sniper absolutely perfect. But yeah, currently this is where we're at. Here's what a fully upgraded piercing light looks like. Recoil goes down to 0%. Penetration is at 340%. You can take away enemy buffs. So for example, the executioner who has the defensive buff, you can completely take that away as long as you're hitting a weak spot, which makes this gun very interesting, especially if in the future we get some new Colossuses that have some kind of defensive buffs and so on. This will be super handy. Now, there is one thing that you can utilize with the sniper, but it's not as easy to do, especially when you're fighting against Colossuses. Upon piercing 2 or more targets, firearm critical hit rate at 100% and firearm critical hit damage extra 6%. You could technically, during a fight, kind of line 2 of the adds up, take a shot, pierce both of them, and then you do get both of these benefits. But it's not as easy to do when you're trying to go for those fast kills. But if you do get an opportunity, you could make this work. Now, let's go ahead, jump into the lab, and I'm going to show you a few things you can do to speed up your DPS. And on top of that, we are going to showcase the multi-talented and walk on tightrope difference, so that you guys make a decision at the end of the day which playstyle you prefer. So first, let's take a look at the damage. This is level 1, and then I'm going to switch it to level 100 as well. And you will see that even on level 100, the damage is incredible, 12 million plus. And when we're talking about level 1, it's like 26 million plus per crit, right? It's really, really strong. So let's take a look at some of the things that you can do to skip the reload. First of all, so I'm going to take off reload focus so you guys get a better idea just how much this affects the setup overall. We're going to reload the weapon without the mod. Take a look at the reload speed. Pretty slow, right? Now we're going to slap it back on. Boom, just like that. Take a look at the reload now. There you go. You can clearly see the difference. But the cool thing is, you can speed it up even further. So what you're gonna do, let me get some ammo here, take a shot. Once you're reloading, once you're like over half, you press invis, and that invis cuts off the reload. And by the time, obviously, you're in your invis, the reload has been completed. So you're ready to go. You're ready to take that shot. And this is going to be the technique you're going to be utilizing 90% of the time when you're reloading and going invisible, to make it as efficient as possible. So try to work on this, get used to it. It takes a little bit to get used to, but once you do, you're absolutely good to go. So walk a tightrope is pretty straightforward. Once below 50% HP, you deal firearm attack plus 30%. But let's take a look at the invis speed, right? I'm gonna go invis. I'm gonna shoot, and that's the cooldown, 3.9 seconds, which is still really, really fast, by the way, especially since we're combining that invis with walk a tightrope. But now if I take this off and I go for multi-talented, boom, just like that, look at the speed increase now. Gonna go invis, take a shot. Look at that. That is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of crazy, right? Once again, go invis. Look at that. And you can just consistently do that. However, once again, this is going to be a different kind of setup. So let's see the difference in damage here. Right now we have multi-talented on. I'm going to reload. I'm going to cancel that with my invis. 23 million. Now I'm going to switch the mod. I'm going to go here, take this off. We're going to drop our HP as well. And by the way you do this is you can just take off your components, the ones that have HP, just like this. I believe it's this one. Nope, this one. And then you're just going to put them back on. That's all you got to do. Literally, that's all you do. Where's the second one? Boom, just like that. You're going to be below 50%. Now we're going to reload. 26 million, right? So you see the difference. Make sure to try out both of the playstyles and let me know what you guys think about this, okay? Now I'm going to show you the Afterglow build as well, so you guys just have an idea on how I build this one. And if you want to combine it with Afterglow maybe instead of the Piercing Light, that's going to be your choice. However, I do think that with Sharen, Piercing Light just feels better. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, and only if you did, slap the like, sub to the channel. I got more content on the way for the First Descendant, for Helldivers 2. Space Marines 2 is also right around the corner. I'm going to be streaming and playing tons of it. As always, thank you so much for the love and support. Stay positive, stay disciplined, and I'll see you all on the next one.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
I mean, we literally have the best community of all time. Oh! Oh, he got no scoped!